Well, hello, active traders, and welcome to Forex Success Mastery, More Winning Forex Trades. This is Ken Calhoun. I'm joined by my longtime colleague, Peter Bain. Peter, it's great to see you here with us today as well.
Yeah, it's really good to be with you, Ken. I always enjoy these webinars, and I'd like to thank those in the audience for taking time out of their Saturdays to be with us. We're going to try and make this as productive as possible for everybody, and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, outstanding. So, for all of you here, we're going to be looking. Peter and I are going to, and I'm looking forward to this personally too, because I like working with Peter. He's a smart guy. We're going to go through some of the charts together, live Forex charts right now in just a second, and then we'll follow up with the special offer for the Forex Success Mastery System. So, as always, all information is for educational use only. We're not making advice about what to buy, sell, or hold, etc., etc. By watching this screen, not to make actual trades. We're excited about bringing you the Forex Success Mastery System. But to make this all worthwhile for you, I wanted to start off by looking at some of the best moving Forex charts, of which the US dollar paired charts seem to be the best of the bunch so far. And if we take a look through these, what I'm going to do is I will go through a few of the charts one at a time. I think the four best uptrending charts are the dollar yen, the dollar Swissy, the dollar CAD, and the pound Swissy, or at least those are four really good charts that have moved up sharply lately. And I'll tell you guys a technique that I would use, and then I'll turn it over to Peter, and we'll go back and forth and look at some of these charts. Hey Sean, good to see you here. Comment from a trader. So if any of you have any questions about breakout trading in FX or using MACD crossovers to nail a good win, feel free to post them, and Peter and I will endeavor to help you with that. Just to introduce the concept of one of the most important things you want to look at is trading extreme outlier charts. And if you flip through all your Forex charts, you'll find that ones like this, the dollar yen, this one, the dollar Swissy, and to a lesser degree, because it's choppier, key point to write down, okay for day trading, it's still okay for swings, but not as good as, say, a nice tight breakout chart like the dollar Swiss. We want to identify which charts are worth trading in the first place. And one of the things that helps me do that is to see who's been in a recent 2 to 3 day uptrend continuation in our currency charts that we're looking at. So I'll make a quick comment on this one, and then I'll turn it over to Peter. I know we've got some good MACD crossover and other insights I'm sure he can share. If you see things like cut patterns, you know, my favorite strategy, 3, 6, 9, 12 day Forex chart on a 60-minute candlestick chart. I always like buying I like buying strength, I like buying uptrend continuations once they pierce a 12-day high. And that makes it something that attracts new institutional volume because everybody's looking at it. All eyes are on this. You're not mucking around with it in a congestion box, but you wait till new high breakouts are there. So oftentimes when you see either inside cups like this, above which you can buy, or larger cups like this, or inverse head and shoulders, like this, kind of almost left shoulder, head, right shoulder, you'll often see something that'll attract new buyers after it moves up. So let's see. Let me turn it over to you, Peter. Any comments on this particular chart, the dollar Swissy? I like the recent, especially Thursday's price action was a nice momentum. The biggest single uptrend breakout in the dollar Swissy in the last 12 sessions was here. So that puts it on my radar. I know you like to identify even better entries using MACD crossovers much earlier, and they'd make even more money. But any comments on the dollar Swissy chart?
Yeah, Ken, the two questions that are on a trader's mind, to make it really simple. By the way, I really like your cup patterns, your cup breakouts, because they're very effective. I learned that from you. And it really plays on the whole notion of support and resistance, because when you draw your lines encapsulating cups, basically what you're doing is you're using the concept of support and resistance, which is great. The comment I'd like to make is that traders, the two things traders are interested in is, well, where do I get into a trade? And how long do I hold the trade? This is what most traders are looking for. And if you're looking for a really simple answer to those two questions, you can use MACD. MACD is I wouldn't say it's my favorite indicator, because my favorite indicator is price. Price is the number one indicator. It tells you where price is going, and Ken has proven that with his discussion on cup patterns. I also like using exponential moving averages, but in terms of indicators below the waterline, I really like to use MACD. It's my favorite indicator below the waterline because it's really an indicator within an indicator. Ken hasn't shown the other form of MACD here, but this is the main version of MACD. And basically, if you look at over here, Ken, yeah, there's two different flavors of the histogram. Ken just showed the histogram on the bottom, which is really, it's a fascinating indicator in that the histogram is an indicator within MACD itself. It's really an indicator of MACD. But where Ken is pointing to right now with his blue arrow, which I really like, you can see the MACD crossover where MACD punches up through its trigger line. That's a buy signal. I mean, you don't have to get any more complicated than this in trading. So you enter your trade there, and if you look at price action, you can see that price at that point is consolidating sideways right there. So that's a good entry point according to MACD. And then the question is, well, how long am I going to hold that trade? Well, the answer to that question is you want to hold it as long as MACD is above its trigger line. And you can see that the red MACD line was above the green line up until about a little bit further to the right there, Ken. And then it punched down through its trigger line. Now, granted, where we got into that trade at the bottom, if we were to exit the trade right there, we wouldn't have made a lot of money, but we would have made money. And this is what trading is all about, is making money, banking profit. And traders, I don't know how you feel, but I get pretty excited about any profit. We all hate losses, so when we get our profits, we jump for joy. So that wasn't a terribly profitable trade, but at least it was profitable. And all we did was we used what MACD told us. Now, if you're a short seller, which I'm not, but if you move your arrow, Ken, left, the blue over further, over to, keep going, right there. You'll notice that MACD punched down through its trigger. That's a sell signal. Now, if you look at price action above the waterline, you'll notice that price was starting to go down. MACD told us to sell right where MACD punched down through its trigger line. And then the question is, well, how long do we hold that short trade? Well, you hold it as long as MACD is below its trigger line. And you'll notice that MACD was below its trigger line. It nudged the trigger line right about there, but didn't break it. So you'd hold that short trade all the way down to the bottom, and then when MACD punched up through its trigger line, you'd collapse that short trade and go long. So you not only made money going short, but you also made money going long. So within a reasonable space of time, you made a good coin. I don't like short selling because, quite frankly, I think there are lots of opportunities to the long side. And since we deal with traders of all persuasions, beginners, intermediates, advanced, I like to focus on long trades because they're easier to explain. It's easier to talk about buying and going long than going short, because that's just a whole nother, what people say, well, what does that mean? How can you sell something you don't have? That discussion takes a while to explain, so I always focus on long trades. There are enough long trades to talk about. Let's see if I see anything on the histogram side. The only thing I see on the histogram side, which is kind of interesting, is if Ken, I don't know how we're going to do this since you're controlling the mouse, but if you go to the histogram below the waterline, the red part that you added, leave your arrow about there. You'll notice that histogram, that point, if you move your arrow down a quarter of an inch, right there, okay, let's remember that point as being at that point, and then move your arrow over to the left, over to there, and down about a quarter of an inch. You'll notice that at that point in the histogram, it's lower than the point that Ken just pointed to, about 2 or 3 inches over. That's called there. That, you see, that point is lower than that point, which that's called divergence on MACD histogram to price. Now, if you look at price action above the waterline, you'll notice that all the while the histogram was trending up, because price was going down, and all the histogram was saying was, hey, wait a minute, price is going the wrong way, we should be looking to go long. And sure enough, MACD itself punched up through the green line right there. So we had, that's the thing I really like about MACD, is it gives you an early warning. If you look at the histogram, it said, wait a minute, price is going down, but it's starting to lose its steam. And the histogram told us that right there. And so when you see that, you then look at MACD and you say, okay, I'm looking for my buy signal. And there's the buy signal right there. This is, you know, if you want a simple way of looking at trading the Forex, it doesn't get any simpler than this. I get quite offended by people who try to turn Forex trading into some sort of quasi-science, which it's not. Trading the Forex is easier than trading any other market, because you can trade it on pure technicals. You don't have to know anything about fundamentals. It's a very liquid market, very few gaps, if any, not like after hours trading with stocks. Your fills are filled right at bang on. You get in, you get out where you want to. And here we have a buy signal on MACD that was forecasted by the histogram of MACD. So MACD not only warns you of a trade that's coming up, but it tells you when to trade, and then it tells you how long to hold the trade. I mean, how much simpler can you get than that?
Right, and that's a really
combined
good...
with that, you can use Ken's cut breakouts, which are very effective, because they too are based on support and resistance, and they show you where good entry points are. But I really like MACD because it's easy to explain, it's easy to use, it works, and I would encourage our audience members to try it. You know, go into a demo account, or even if you're in a live account, have a look at what I'm talking about. Study, make sure you plot the histogram and MACD. If you're using Metatrader 4, there is a plugin. The MACD, the standard offering for MACD with Metatrader is not all that great. There is a, you can just go on to the internet and do a Google search for the MACD indicator for Metatrader 4 and download it and implement it, and you'll get exactly what you're seeing here. Can't say any more goodness about MACD. If we had exponential moving averages on here, we could further the discussion, because that helps you also know how long to stay into a trade. Where I told you to get in and get out of the trade here using MACD, it was a short-term, entry and exit. We made some money, not a lot, but hey, some money's better than none. There is another way of knowing when to get out beyond MACD, which you can learn by using the 50 exponential moving average, but we're not getting into that right now. Anyway, I hope that was instructful.
Yeah, very good points, Peter. Yeah, and what I like too, I don't know if this would also be a good long signal, but I like this. What I learned so much from you, Peter, because what you teach works. The neat thing about learning from Peter and myself is that you can combine, and again, this is just a quick introduction, but Peter goes through in depth how to do the divergence as well as MACD and the shotgun trade and other strategies in the Forex Success Mastery system. So he goes into depth on how to do that. What's nifty is we combine our strategies. So if you get in on the pivot here, and then you add to it with a, say, inverse head and shoulders cut breakout here, or you wait for a second cut breakout above this resistance area, or even wait for the new 12-day high up here, you can do position sizing or scaling. So you can get the first pivot trade on down here, and then get the breakout trade 1 and 2 up here, and that way you even magnify your profits or potential profits because you're scaling in after you get in on the first trade. So Peter teaches you how to get in early. I teach you how to add to a winning trade. And with the two of us together, it's a really good combination, kind of a powerhouse. And what I like, one thing I learned from you, Peter, too, is the angle and separation technique and looking for things like this. I don't know if this would qualify as a trade, but I'd see this, and I'd wait for way over here and get in. But does that crossover also qualify as something of consideration? Or like you teach, I know it's best if it's at the bottom. I remember learning from you, if the crossover's down here, and that does produce the biggest run up. But would this also be worth considering, or maybe not?
Yeah, it is, and you have to be a little bit careful with MACD. That's a good entry point right there. Whether MACD is above the waterline or below the waterline, this really is a good buy signal. And what is happening here is, if you look at price action, I really like price action as the number one indicator because it is. That is the head. This is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. There is the left shoulder, head, and right shoulder right there. Okay, so MACD did the crossover at the bottom there, punching up through its trigger line after the formation of the head, and then MACD carried on along, and yeah, it did dip below, a little bit below the trigger line, but nothing to really write home about, nothing to cause you entering the trade where we did about a quarter of an inch there, half an inch there. You wouldn't get all obsessed about MACD punching down through his trigger line just a little bit. You'd keep an eye on it, but MACD recovered, and then it nudged the trigger line and carried on up. So it was a good entry point. Now, in terms of the exit point over to about 2 inches to the right, Ken, where it punched down through his trigger line, you also want to... Basically, what it's saying is, yeah, that is a good exit point, and nothing wrong with getting out there because we made money. And yeah, we didn't make as much as we could have if we'd stayed in, but hey, we're not greedy. We left some on the table for somebody else. That's the number one lesson in trading. If you just said to yourself, well, okay, yeah, I can get out of the trade here, but I see an inverted head and shoulders pattern there. And the way you play a head and shoulders pattern inverted is you measure the distance from the head, the hammer there, Ken, right there. There's the hammer, there's the head. You measure that distance up to the neckline, which is there. You project that distance forward, up there. And that is your profit potential. So even though MACD said you'd get out of the trade, you can say, well, yeah, that's fine. I understand what MACD is telling me, but I also see the inverted head and shoulders pattern, and I see my profit potential, so therefore I'm going to hold the trade a little bit longer, and I'm going to get out right there. Or, since we're in an uptrend, the further analysis would say, all right, well, we are in an uptrend, and yeah, the price projection says to get out at that point, but the trend is up, so my stop is 30 pips below my entry point, so I'm fine. And then, of course, Ken points out the cup breakout, so that's another reason to stay into the trade. So that's the sort of analysis you do when you're trading, is do exactly what I just went through. I love Ken's cup breakouts because they work. Here we've seen an example of using MACD to enter and potentially exit. We've seen reading price action. Reading price action simply told us that there's an inverted head and shoulders pattern there. And price told us that. If you pay attention to what price says, it'll always tell you where it's going if you just pay attention. So we measured the distance from the head to the neckline. We projected that distance northward. That was our profit potential. And that was a potential exit point right there. So two potential exit points where MACD said to do it, which coincides pretty much with the price projection for the head and shoulders pattern. or because we were in an uptrend, we could have held longer and taken advantage of Ken's cup breakout. So that's how you read Forex charts. It's not that complicated. I respectfully submit that you can trade without any indicators at all. You don't need MACD. You don't need anything below the waterline. If you pay strict attention to price action, it'll tell you everything you want to know, because we see the inverted head and shoulders pattern there. We see Ken's cup breakout. I mean, wow. You should practice reading price action, because it'll tell you an awful lot. Like I said before, it'll tell you exactly where it's going.
Right.
All you have to do is understand. For example, Ken, move your arrow about an inch to the left. There's the head. There's the hammer right there. I love Steve Nissen's candle patterns. I like his hammers, his railway tracks, and his spinning tops. Railway tracks are tweezers, but that's a hammer telling us that price is exhausted to the downside. It's oversold. You can expect a reversal. That's the head right there. Price advances. It then forms the right shoulder. And there is the inverted head and shoulders pattern right there without even looking at MACD. And like I said before, you do the price measurement. You project that distance northward, and that tells you where price is going. Magic. I mean, poetry in motion. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and the neat thing, what you mentioned, Peter, is that so many of these things confirm each other. I know you've got a process, kind of like red light, green light, or you've got a sequence of things that you look for in the Forex Success Mastery system. And Peter and I go through all of these techniques in detail. I mean, in interest of time, we can't go through. We've got over a dozen hours of content for you in the system. But what the neat thing about all this is that it adds up to a system that makes sense once you know what to look for. Kind of like one of those hidden object games or word search puzzles. Once you have the answer key, which Peter and I give you, you know what to look for. So for example, this support, or that hammer that Peter mentioned, confirms the previous support. Both of the MACD crossovers confirm that would be a sensible place to buy long, and my cup breakouts confirm that would be a good place to add to a winning trade. And Peter's price projection technique gives you the exit target, which confirms, by the way, the fact that that's a bullish cup, which you want to sell into resistance, and we teach you how to do that in the system. But you see all these bullish lower shadows, they're confirmed by the hammer there. You got two MACDs. I mean, it's a simple trade setup, and the money's all there. I mean, think of how much money you could make if you knew to look for that in this chart. And the trick is, now what do you do on the right side of the chart? And to get answers to that, get the system, and we'll teach you how it all works. But yeah, good points, Peter. I like what you say.
Yeah, Ken, can I just show you one more thing on that chart, if you could leave it where it was?
Yeah, certainly.
Could you put the histogram back on, please?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Great. Okay, what I wanted to say here was I really liked it when you brought up the discussion about where that hammer ended right there. Steve Nissen's hammer was pretty much at the level to the left. It's fascinating that traders pay attention to support and resistance. In other words, serious traders looking at price action up to that point are saying, wait a minute, price fell down to a level of support right there and formed a hammer. Where is price going to go? Well, it's not going to go down because we're at a support level. Not only that, but look at MACD. If you look at MACD there versus over to the left, right there, it's higher. That is called divergence on MACD to price, which means, wait a minute, MACD's also telling us that price is going up because it's higher than over there. It's right there. It's higher than over there. That's called divergence on MACD to price. Price is pretty much at the same level where that hammer is, and MACD is screaming at us. Wait a minute, price is now going to go up. That's exactly what MACD is saying. And sure enough, the hammer told us that was going to happen. Then we got the inverted head and shoulders pattern. Then we got our price projection, and away price went. So this is all pretty simple stuff. It really comes down to studying your charts, knowing how to read price action, having a look at MACD if that's your chosen indicator, and you'll find, I've talked about taking short trades like that one right there, and then getting out a little bit later. No, over to the right, Ken. They're getting out over about 2 inches to the right. No, down a bit, down 2 inches to the bottom, down on MACD, right there, getting out there. Granted, that wasn't a very profitable trade, but you should always I always tell our people at Forex Matter, you should focus on trying to get 20 pips a day. That should be your ultimate goal. If you get 20 pips a day, if you do the math in a standard account, that translates into $4,000 US a month. That's more than a lot of people make in their day jobs. So if you can concentrate, if you can't get 20 pips a day out of the Forex market, then you're really doing something wrong. And by taking short trades like this, it's not a lot of money, but you should be focusing on making at least 20 pips a day, period. And don't get obsessed about, wow, gee, if I'd stayed in, I would have made more. Leave some on the table for somebody else and don't be greedy.
Yeah, good points. And one thing that all of you can learn from in the Forex Success Mastery system is how to identify these patterns. And the thing that we all count on as traders is that patterns repeat themselves. And Peter and I are experts at teaching you pattern recognition skills. And one of the things that we hope that you'll do a good job of once you order the Forex Success Mastery system, which has lots and lots of video previews, which you can take a look at on the site. We've got dozens of hours of content from the live seminar we did. You get the complete encyclopedia visually explained step by step of exactly what to look for and how to potentially profit from it in your Forex trade. So let's take a look at one last chart, and then we'll tell our traders about the system. We'll do a briefer run through on this, but previous resistance, new support over here. If you're a trader that buys a pullback in an uptrend and you see a tweezer bottom there, you can go in long. If you look at an even earlier, probably better entry down here, even if you get a false breakout and you take a little stop, you take tomorrow's another day, you try to take another shot at it, and you make a good win breakout at least up to here. You get a nice pivot play here, and then a breakout continuation over here. And one of the things I thought I would ask you about, Peter, is, in my experience, at least in my own trades, and I've done tens of thousands of trades, one of the things I find is often maybe the first entry doesn't work out, and I used to just give up, and then because I wanted it to work out so much, and it didn't work out, and then it runs up without me because I said, forget it, I tried once, and then I give up. And one of the things that you don't want to have as a trader is give up-itis. What you want to have is, maybe it's not the first entry, but the second one catches and runs for you. And so be persistent and don't get ridiculous and try 8 times in the same chart. If you can't make money after the second or third try, then maybe give it a break. But give things a second chance on a pivot or a second chance on a breakout. And often you'll find that the second trade works out, even though the first one maybe you a little antsy and you get out too soon, or it did a quick reversal and you get stopped out. Take the second shot, and that one can actually work out for a nice big huge win for you if you're on the right side of it. So Peter, any comments on that or on the chart in general? But just as one trader to another, I thought that might be something of benefit to all of our listeners today, is the idea of a second chance trade, or if you get stopped out once, don't give up, but try, because I found in my own trades oftentimes it's the second one that's the money shot. The first one is a kind of false breakout, or I got out too early because I was a little nervous in the trade. By staying with it and sticking to my guns, and if I think it's a good reversal, I take it. Even if the first time I get stopped out, the second time it takes hold and runs, and then you can profit from it on the way up once you're in the trade. So not giving up too soon, I guess. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I love this chart. Basically what I see here is a head and shoulders pattern, inverted head and shoulders pattern on the bottom there. You'll notice the head, that's the collar line would be the other way. Right there. There's the collar line. There's the head on the bottom. The head on the bottom. Down, right there. Down further. down further, right there. There's the head, the inverted head. And then if you measure from that point up to the collar line, from there up to the collar line, project that distance northward. Isn't that like magic? Like, oh my gosh. Can you believe it? Like, MACD gave us the buy signal on the bottom below the waterline, right there. And, okay, so let's just follow it through. So we bought right there, and we held our trade all the while MACD was above its trigger line. The red line was above the green. It bounced off the green line. Now, right there, we say to ourselves, okay, we've made money, but we did our price projection, and it says the price could go even further. So we've got our stop in place, 30 pips below our entry point. Therefore, we're going to stick with price action. We're not going to jump off where I mean, nothing wrong with taking your profit there. There's nothing wrong with it. Actually, what you could do is add to your position. You could take another position right there, even though MACD says to sell it. Because we have our measurement there that says price is going to go higher, we're gonna maybe buy another position. So we've got two, or we're going to collapse it, take our profit, or we're just going to hold the original position and wait for that head and shoulders pattern to unfold and look at the profit that we made. I mean, and look at where that price projection ended up, right over there at the resistance line. Over here to the left camp, there. I mean, isn't that like poetry in motion? It's like magic. It's like, wow, how can this happen? Well, that's how these things work. It's just, and then you notice if you move your arrow over to the right camp, you'll notice that this level was strategic because price bounced off at about a half, right there. Price bounced off this level. So not only was it a resistance level over to the left, it's a support level over to the right, and our price projection level ended up right at that level. You wonder, well, how can this happen? Well, this is the whole discussion on support and resistance. This is what serious traders really pay attention to. They know that that level is strategic for a whole bunch of reasons. They know it was resistance at one point, and then over to the right, when price fell off, they knew that this was a strategic level. It provided support, and away price went. So, you know, it doesn't matter what chart we look at. There's always a story to tell. And you'll notice that basically you can tell the story by just looking at price action without even worrying about an indicator like MACD. Although MACD really does, especially for a new trader entering that trade at the bottom, we get in there and you say, well, okay, how long am I going to stay in? Well, just keep your eye on the red line, and as long as it's above the green line, you're safe. And then when it punches down through the green line, you get out and bank your profit and be happy, and don't get all upset about the fact that price went even higher. You know, you made your money. Bank your profit and be happy.
Yeah, very good point, Peter. And I like your price projection technique too, because even if you look over here, like you say, poetry in motion, exactly the same. No surprises. They ran up exactly and no further and no less than this price projection, which is the height of the inverse head and shoulders here. So, but the thing is, would you have known that, everybody listening, had you just looked at the chart without Peter and I walking you through it? And the answer is probably no. You said, well, it did a pivot and a move, but how would you have made a technical trade setup? And that's, you know, what Peter and I specialize in, is teaching so many thousands of traders how to identify these types of patterns, because they're bankable patterns. I mean, they're out there, but you have to know the nuances of how to combine what Peter and I both teach you into a simple, step-by-step, effective, clearly explained approach so that you can do it yourself next time you're in a trade. And even if you use an alert service, which I know a lot of you may use SMS, Forex alert services from various providers, and I guess that's okay, but you can use what you learned from Peter and I to help you confirm your entries and understand whether or not a trade makes sense. And also, for example, if you're getting near a resistance area, you wouldn't want to buy near that because you know it's going to pull back off that. You wait until it breaks above and then get into the trade. So, you know, the answers are out there for you guys in the charts. You just have to know how to decipher it like Peter explained, and like what I like to teach you guys too is how to combine. And my point too is even like I likely would have taken that as a long, got stopped out. As a new trader, I would have just called it a day and been frustrated. As an experienced trader, I know I'd rebuy here and get in on the continuation, and then I rebuy over cup pattern resistance. An inside cup is an example here. It's inside the pattern. I'd buy there, that becomes new support, and I'd rebuy over here and hold it long because I knew support, like Peter said, is over here. So you get in on the, let's say you get stopped out, life of a trader, you get stopped out a lot. Well, okay, you take one quick stop, but you do get a nice entry. You let it ride, you scale in once, you scale in twice, and you get triple the size, and now you're nicely in the money, and exit target is achieved here. And if you're a new trader, you know, yesterday afternoon would have been a fine time to collapse the entire trade, take the money and run, and you got 3 sequential breakouts in the dollar yen in this chart because of what Peter and I teach you. Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody? And Peter,
Ken, can we just add more time to this chart? Because I think I saw something over to the left, like add more days or more time to this chart, because I think I saw a little bit more. Yeah, just trying to see. Can we see the histogram as well?
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I wanted to tell traders about the system, but yeah, sure, we can do a quick.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we should get into the system, sure.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what Peter teaches y'all is effective because it works. And the neat thing is combining the best of what Peter teaches you with what I share with you keeps you out of the chop zone and in on the money zone, or in on the breakout zones where they make sense to trade. And you know, one thing I know that Peter and I both share is the passion for teaching, and you know, we're both well respected and all that kind of stuff. But the main thing is we know what works because we've looked for these patterns for years in our own trades, and we know what kind of strategies make sense. Now, let me tell you all just if any questions, go ahead and post right now. But I wanted to turn our attention to the that's kind of a lead up into what you'll be learning, kind of a quick taste or a sample of the quality of training that Peter and I will share with you. We've been world experts speaking at the Money Show back when they used to have Forex trading expos in the good old days. Peter and I have both been speakers for that. You know, you may have seen me in all the stocks and commodities and live webinars. One of the things I want to share with you is the fact that Peter and I have got a 12 DVD seminar in a box available for you that we captured live in Las Vegas recently. It was just a year and a half or two ago. And you've got over a dozen hours of content plus ongoing webinars for the upcoming every other month. When you place your order by this upcoming Halloween, it's a Halloween special. We've got it at a big discount for the regular price open right now. So it's a good, you know, at least 30% off right now. It also includes my classic Forex on Fire system and more. So you get over 22 hours of training in the Forex Success Mastery system. And what I wanted to do was give you a quick preview, and you also get coaching call, one with Peter and one with I, as a bonus if you order. We can schedule that anytime for next year, so you got all next year to to focus on. And you can, Peter and I individually, we can talk with y'all for half an hour once you order your system. Once you've had a chance to apply it. So we've had so many traders join, and we certainly appreciate everybody being with us at the Forex Success Mastery system. We used to have it at the profit site. It's just Forex Success Mastery right now. Let me quickly turn it back over to Peter for a second, but first let me just tell you all how excited we are to have so many of you here today. It's a real pleasure to have you. I hope that we've given you a good insight in terms of our strategies and the thinking, kind of the intelligence that we both bring to the markets to help you guys simplify it, get better winning trades more often, get more consistency, and we're very conscientious about, and this will be updated for next year, but every other month for a year you get webinars with us plus the core training, and we've got it on sale now. It's just at $9.97 now. You get over 20 hours of training for that, plus ongoing webinars all next year as well with Peter and I to answer your questions and give you some insights in terms of exactly how to make the most of your trade. So Peter, any thoughts on the system to share with everyone?
Well, I'm excited to even talk about it, Ken, because I have fond memories of doing this seminar with you at the MGM Grand, an exciting facility in Vegas. You hired the very best crew to videotape this seminar, the same people that are used to videotape stars. They had high quality equipment, a couple crew members there doing the videotaping. We had a very responsive audience, lots of engaging discussion. It was a lot of fun. Of course, you and I really like being in front of people, being with people, and talking it up, because that's what really this business is all about, is getting the right information to people, because Ken and I are intent on making sure that we keep people away from all the nonsense out there, the scammy courses put out by people who really don't know what they're talking about. They're glitzy videos and content that really is copied from somewhere else and doesn't really work. So we're intent on presenting the very best of what we know to everybody. And we're not imaginary people. In other words, if you have any questions, you can get a hold of Ken or I at any time. For example, myself, you can always get a hold of me at info@forexmentor.com, and I will take my time, to answer your question or questions, or go over a trade example if you have trouble with a trade, or even if you have trouble with some of the stuff we talked about today. Get your questions in either today or after the webinar. If something's bothering you, don't be bashful. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Just fire away, because I know when I got into this business, seems like when the earth cooled, you have questions. There are some things that Ken and I are familiar with that you may not be, you may have issues with. Make sure you get the questions on the table, and we will deal with them, because we're committed to your success. That's why we want to get you this offering, but we also want to help you. So there's lots of follow-on support either today or after the webinar.
Yeah, well said, Peter. We're both very conscientious about helping you, and we're both industry experts. We're not, these wannabe people or support desk in India or something like that, like you see other outfits out there. We're two genuine experts who know how to do this. And the neat thing is, all the positive response. You can see comments from all these 100+ traders. One thing you can look at too is video testimonials from some of the people that were there actually at the live event. You can see what they say about how helpful the training is, and that's just the beginning. Is getting started with the entire seminar. You don't have to pay for airfare or hotel or inconvenience yourself. And these are DVDs, by the way, too. So yes, you can watch them on your computer, but even more importantly, you can watch them on PlayStation or Xbox or your DVD player on your big screen TV downstairs. And that's how I would encourage you to do that. Get a favorite beverage, get a notepad, or at least listen up and be able to watch these in a DVD player. So these are professionally authored DVDs. Now, one of the other things that I would mention to you that's revolutionary for the trading industry is we have picture-in-picture videos. And Peter alluded to this earlier. We hired the #1 outfit in Vegas. They've done work for Sony and network broadcast quality cameras, so it's crystal clear. Unlike other people's seminar videos that are blurry and hard to see, we have crystal clear charts so you can see those, and we have picture-in-picture. I took over 300 hours of my own personal life to personally edit all the video for everybody so that it looks great. So you can see the chart we're talking about, plus picture-in-picture of us explaining the pattern as we go back and forth through the chart. So we get very specific and very advanced. And we also have lots of bonuses here and ongoing webinars. We're very conscientious about helping y'all. We're not hit and run, buy it once. Let me ask you too, we've seen competitors offer Forex systems for as much as $3,000 to $5,000. Do you think that's a little pricey? I do, especially if they're not even experts, which they aren't. Peter and I are both genuine, authentic experts, and we're really pleased to have the great response of all of our Forex Success Mastery system owners. You know, it's been great to see all the success stories and the positive comments from our system owners come in. And if you'd like to join our community of traders, we've got it on sale through Halloween. I fought the temptation to say spooktacular, so spectacular super sale. At just $99.97, you get the entire DVDs, watch it, region free, shipped anywhere in the world. Free shipping is included, and I ship priority. The only thing I wanted to ask y'all is don't have it shipped to a PO box, because we use Amazon and CreateSpace, and they can't. It takes longer to ship to a PO box. So make sure that when you place your order, and you will place your order, right? If you're not in the U.S. or Canada, try not to have it shipped to a PO box for faster delivery, because we ship by the most expensive airmail that they offer, but they can't use that option. I can't choose that option for y'all if it's with the PO box, because they can't airmail to a PO box, DHL or whatnot. So make sure you just have it shipped to your own personal house or whatnot, and make sure that the the order IP address matches your shipping address and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, let me ask another comment. I know Peter's keen on, he's very responsible, and what Peter Bain teaches works, which is why I work with him above anyone else who teaches Forex. I'm very selective. I work with Steve Nissen on candlesticks because he's the world's top go-to guy for candlesticks. I work with Peter Bain for Forex because he's the world's foremost authority on Forex. And what Peter teaches actually works the vast majority of the time, which is really important to me. You know, I work with people who can actually help people. One of the things that Peter and I will do for you is, and Peter mentioned this, we will answer your questions. Let's see, I only have time to answer them during webinars, so Peter will answer if you want to email in, but we do have what we call Forex Answer Box, and if you have any questions for the entire year ahead about your Forex trading, within reason, you know, maybe a couple, 3 questions a month or whatnot, you can send those in, and we will either answer those via email, or we'll answer those during the ongoing every other month. This should say 2016 now, right? We're already at the end of 2015. I'll update the calendar. But you get 1 year follow-up bi-monthly, every other month. Every 8 weeks, all of our system owners get together, and you can bring charts. We can discuss answers. If you have a question about, say, you know, I'm really keen on Peter's shotgun trade, which is a really good trade setup. It works great along with his divergence trade methods. And Peter teaches you exactly what you need to know to make that trade work. And I teach you, we have hot seats where traders come up and ask questions that were captured live, and it's a really good system. It's the one biggest and final and only system I'll produce ever in life for Forex. I captured everything I know about my own Forex trades, captured on video, and Peter Bain's best of everything that Peter knows about Forex, all captured in 2 sizzling hot days live in Las Vegas for the Forex Success Mastery system. So I guess, Peter, let me turn over to you too. I know we've got lots of bonuses that we're offering, but you know, we're really packed this, so it's a great deal. We want to make this a irresistibly good offer, because I know, you know, times are tight, and you want to make sure that when you do invest money in your education, it's well spent. And you have my word, this is outstanding, the #1 of the Forex systems out there. And we're not charging $5,000 like these other people are. We're very responsible and conscientious, and give you guys world-class training at the very lowest we can do it, and still make it make sense for everybody. So it's a really good deal, and we certainly encourage you all to order now. So, but Peter, any comments on the bonuses or anything else you'd like to talk about? Because I'm really proud to produce this with you, just like I am with the stock system for Steve Nissen. You're the best in Forex, and really pleased to work with you on this, because this is something I'm genuinely proud of. You know, that's help so many hundreds of traders. It's great to be able to bring it to a world audience and help other traders make a difference in their trading, and hopefully write in success stories like everyone else has as well. So good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate your comments, Ken. It was a pleasure working with you in Vegas, and I really appreciate all the effort you put into not only taking care of getting the session in Vegas videotaped, but all the incredible amount of time you put into post-seminar production. I know you put your life on hold for many months. Even while your family went over to Japan on vacation, you stayed back to get this together for our members. So yeah, lots of exciting bonuses. Getting back to your comment about pricing, there are courses out there that are as high as $2,000 to $5,000. I don't think anything's worth that amount of money. I don't know how people get off charging that amount of money, and I don't know why people would pay that amount of money, because we're certainly not charging that amount. I think a key consideration here is that, you know, a lot of courses are sold on the basis of you buy the course and you get the course in the mail or as a downloadable, and you say to yourself, well, now what? Like, I've got all this stuff now, where do I go from here? Well, we offer lots of support in terms of not only today in the question and answer session, but also, like I said before, if you want to contact me personally at info@forex.com, I will entertain any questions you send in, as I do, and I'll take the time to understand your question and respond appropriately. Even if you have a situation where you're trying to get into a trade and you're not sure if it's the right trade, by all means get a hold of me. I'm a bit of a workaholic. I don't really have a life. I'm usually on my system morning, noon, and night. And as Ken will attest, whenever I get an email, I usually respond rather quickly, within an hour or two. And so I make the same offer to you. So there you go. Yeah, great system. I'm proud of it. I'm proud to have worked with Ken. Very smart guy. It was a pleasure to work with him in Vegas. A lot of fun, too. We had a very receptive audience. We all had fun. And the people left the session really ready to rock and roll with their trading. One individual in particular, I can't remember his name. I'm embarrassed. I wish I could remember his name, but he was just on fire. I mean, he came with every intention of improving his Forex trading, and he just couldn't wait to get home to implement what he learned at the session. I look forward to the next time we do another seminar, Ken, and we'll certainly let everybody know, because it's a lot of fun to do these things live.
Yeah. And the neat thing is, you know, we hired the very best camera crew. I hired the very best people with crystal clear video. So even though it's a standard definition, it looks like Blu-ray because it's so clear. We use a net. They used it was like $75,000 worth of broadcast quality camera equipment to ensure the quality levels there. And you can see, you know, it's very rare to get people nowadays to do video testimonials because people are kind of shy. But we had a lot of our attendees, not everyone, but we had quite a few of our attendees at the live event speak up on camera and tell you exactly how thrilled they are with the training. So you'll be getting that same exact training that they got, plus a whole year of webinars coming up with Peter and myself, so you get answers to your questions. Now, I know someone had asked, is this being recorded? And yeah, we are recording it, and I will send out the download later today or tomorrow for you guys. We're very conscientious about answering questions. We don't try and sell anything in addition to this, so it's not like you buy this. Unlike these internet marketers who are infesting the trading industry, we don't sell you this and then try and sell you some platinum $3,000. If you want more, buy it. No, we don't do that. We're honest and we give you great training. The neat thing about Forex, for those of you who are my stock traders who have not yet traded Forex, is the neat thing is there's no significant gaps. Number one, it's a 24-hour market. Number two, personally, Forex is great for swing trading. I'm not a huge fan of scalping. I've tried scalping Forex, and it's okay, but I like the profit potential in swing trades. So if you're a swing trader trading stocks, you know the stock market's been uncertain, bounced a little bit lately, but overall the sentiment is the big picture stock market may well sell off and collapse any moment now, right? I'm mostly cash in my own capital trading accounts, my IB and Fidelity accounts, and long a little bit Disney and other stocks, but for the most part I'm cash because I think the stock market's going to sell off. Now is a perfect time. So that's the reason why. Now's a good time to pick up Forex. It's really easy to trade. You can trade a number of different pairs, and they trade the chart patterns and the thinking that you use in your stock trading you can apply to Forex, but there's new things that you need to learn that are unique to trading the Forex that Peter and I teach you in this course. So this one is outstanding. We haven't had a single complaint. Everybody who's bought it has liked it. We've gotten great feedback from traders around the world, as far away as Singapore and Australia and the UK and South America and all over Canada, and mostly Canadians and Americans. Mostly the U.S. And Canada have been our buyers, but we've got people from around the world as system members. So it's great to see the enthusiasm from all of the traders And you have our word. It's our outstanding training. It's a good quality system, and it's the best that I know of for how to teach people how to swing and intraday set up your trades for trading the Forex. So it's really neat to be working with you on that, Peter. Peter, any thoughts on the video quality or the picture-in-picture? Because I think that's kind of a neat strategy point that we have that helps facilitate people's learning even easier, because they can see an inset picture, both you and I, on the different 12 DVDs. You get a whole library. You can see us talking along with the charts, so they're not obstructed. You can see exactly crystal clear both the charts and us. We don't have it kind of like this for the most part, where there's charts in the background. We've got clear charts plus inset speaking, and we flip back and forth. So it's a really good dynamically edited system. So it's like getting a front row seat to being there live with Peter Bain and myself with crystal clear video. And unlike other people, we show preview videos of every single DVD. So we're proud of this, of course. Other people, you may have been disappointed in trading videos. They don't dare show preview clips because their videos aren't very good. Ours are outstanding, so we're proud to present over an hour of watchable preview clips, and you can see for yourself the quality, the intelligence, the strategy, the trade setups, the step-by-step how to trade entries and exits, how to scan for entries, and everything else you need to know to be able to trade these markets correctly and professionally from two top guys. So, Peter, any last thoughts before we wrap up for today? Because I am really pleased to work with you on this, and I think the picture-in-picture and the video quality and the ongoing support makes it for a winning system, which is why it's been so popular with so many traders around the world.
Yeah, Ken, I was stunned and amazed at what you did in putting this course together. I knew what you were doing. I knew how you had planned to have this unfold with the video crew that you had hired in Vegas, but I was absolutely blown away by the end result, this picture-on-picture that you're talking about. I'm not even sure I'd seen it done before, and I still am amazed that you were able to pull it off, although I'm not surprised because I know you spent perhaps upwards of 6 months putting this together. The quality is absolutely stunning, first class. So I know that our audience members will really enjoy it. You really didn't leave anything out. I mean, I can't imagine that course material could be any better than this. First class quality, so my hat goes off to you. That's a reflection on you, and also the camera crew that you had hired in Vegas. I know that you sourced them, you went out of your way to find nothing but the best. There are a number of people in Vegas that do this sort of thing, but you found the absolute best. I know that you only work with the best, and you took your time to find the right people for this job. The only other comment that I'd like to make in closing, I guess, since we're into closing remarks, is if audience members have any comments about what they'd like to see us do in the future, or if you have any comments on anything you've seen today, or comments on how we can improve our presentations or our course content, let us know. We're always looking to do different events out into the future or to create different products. So don't be bashful. Just let us know, and we'll gladly respond. So Ken, this has been exciting as usual. I always like talking to charts with you as an educational exercise for our audience members. I really appreciate the audience participants for taking the time to be with us on a Saturday. You know, Saturdays are special territory for everybody. So Ken and I don't take it for granted that you've taken time out of your quiet weekend to be with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody. And thanks so much, Peter Bain, for being here. It's an honor and a privilege because you're the best guy out there for Forex. So I'm pleased that you also work with me and everything. It's life is short. Just learn and stay at the best hotels, learn from the best people, apply things in a way that can help you turn the corner as a trader and make it work for you. So thanks so much to all of you for being here. Go ahead and order your system. We've got it on sale for the next upcoming week, so you can sleep on it tonight and look at the preview videos and whatnot. But you have our word. It's outstanding training. It's the last and biggest Forex system I will ever produce because I nailed it with Peter. You know, Peter's the best guy out there, and he and I teamed up. And so, from my standpoint, success made, and so it's something to be proud of. Kind of like the best of the success systems from some of the other people in the world out there. People like, I won't mention names, but the top names out there. They all have their signature courses that define a generation or define a trading area of knowledge in a way nothing else does. And the Forex Success Mastery System is the best of what Peter Bain and I have together in hours and hours of content for less than the price of a couple blown trades. So it's well worth it. And on behalf of Peter Bain and myself, we wanted to, as Peter said, thank you so much for being here on a Saturday. We hope this is good, honest, authentic, step-by-step, actually really has the potential to work and help you guys turn your trading around, trading strategies that can help. So thanks so much to all of you for being here. I will get the replay video emailed out by tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Or actually, I'll put it, just so you guys know, I'll put the link at the top of the site here. There'll be a downloadable high-resolution video, and the link will be at the top of Forex Success Mastery by tomorrow, probably later today. So stay tuned for that, and we hope to see you in the upcoming webinars. You have our word. We're very conscientious guys about helping you become better traders. So bring your questions for the upcoming year ahead, and we look forward to having you join us as one of our Forex Success Mastery system owners. So thanks everybody, and thanks so much, Peter Bain.
Yeah, great working with you, Ken, and I look forward to the next event. So thank you for your time. Always a pleasure, and thanks again to our audience members for being with us. Lots of fun.
Thanks. Goodbye, everybody.